Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Om Tat Sat. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna and Hari Bol to everybody. I am here today.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hari Bol Shalini ji. I am here today in Kerala in Guruvayur. Tomorrow is Malayalam New Year Day, Vishu, and today is Tamil New Year's Day. And there's a lot of activity that everybody is busy within their families. And I also thought so that today many of the Keralites would not join because tomorrow is Vishu.
Yes,
and I think that that is a factor. And today is also Tamil New Year's Day. So, however, I thought that since the occasion is auspicious and it necessitates that we indulge in a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, so I won't keep you for very long. I thought that we'll speak a few things. The last session I had I was giving a program to a group of about 75 to 100 people in Bangalore, and I also mixed it with the Gita session, and I had the opportunity to discuss one shloka in detail. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyayas bhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapo uchyate. The austerity of speech, which is a very wonderful instruction to those people who are interested in learning how to make their speaking effective for spiritual life. That is something that was discussed in detail. Today, I'm going to carry on from there onwards forward in the 17th chapter. So let's work on that a little bit. You will see that Anudvega Karamvakyam, that is body, mind, and speech have been spoken about. I chose to speak about the body, the speech, and then there is a wonderful instruction about the mind. What is austerity of the mind? Which means all these are performed by people in the mode of goodness. So I'm going to focus today on this and about charity, which is what we learned from the readings. We are in chapter 17, text 16. Manah prasadaha saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshudir iti etat tapomana samuchyate. Please read the translation. Hello? Can you read the translation?
Yes, Maharaj. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you. So I'm just going to delve on this purport a little bit, which is very wonderful. To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. It should be so trained that it can be always thinking of doing good for others. Please note carefully. The best training for the mind is gravity in thought. One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. To purify one's nature is to become Krishna conscious. Satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from thoughts of sense enjoyment. The more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. In the present age, we unnecessarily engage the mind in so many different ways for sense gratification, and so there is no possibility of the mind's becoming satisfied. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literature, which is full of satisfying stories as in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. The mind should be devoid of duplicity, and one should think of the welfare of all. Silence means that one is always thinking of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealings and thereby purify his existence. All these qualities together constitute austerity in mental activities. Okay, I'm going to dwell on this a little bit. It's a very important topic. Because on the one side, we talk about mental control, mind control. And that you can see Arjuna said earlier that in 6th chapter, he said that the mind is chanchalahi manakrishna pramati bhalavat dridham. The mind is wavering, vacillating, and keeps on moving left and right. Chanchala never stays fixed in one thing. And it is bhalavat dridham. It is very powerfully strong. Dridham means very, stubborn and obstinate. Tasyaham nigraham manne vayuriva sudushkaram. It is like trying to control the wind. So Arjuna says, it's not possible for me. That we have heard about controlling the mind. But here is something different about austerity of the mind. Mental control involves austerity of the mind. Just like if you want to actually perform good in your exam, if you want to actually show your boss that you're doing something, contributing good, then you have to make sacrifices. You have to stay away from the movie that you can see with your family members today because you have to finish your work. You take the austerity as a college student of keeping away from company of your friends who are calling you for an outing and for some, fun together because you need to study for the exams. All this is an austerity, a penance, a sacrifice for a higher cause. So it's mentioned that you should also do that with your mind. And the worst, the most austere thing is to stay away from sense gratification. Because all of us, our lives are designed to have sense gratification. That's what we call as happiness. Everybody is all out to have fun, enjoy their senses and gratify themselves. And in this way, they be peaceful and happy. Sense gratification is what keeps us happy in this world. So-called happiness based on enjoyment of the senses and the mind. So here it says that you must stay away from sense gratification. Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Because what does it say? Manaprasadat saumyatvam. Right? Maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir itietat tapo manasam uchyate. Tapa means austerity. Manasa means austerity of the mind. And what does it mean? Satisfaction of the mind. Manaprasadaha means satisfaction is maybe the greatest austerity. To remain satisfied with whatever you have got. To remain satisfied with whatever your karma is materially. This is the amount of gratification I can get. This is what my horoscope says. As per my past karma, that's all I'll get. My neighbor may be doing more. My friends may be enjoying more. But I'm sorry, I have this much. And it is good for me to remain satisfied with what I have. Satisfaction is the greatest happiness, actually. If you learn to be satisfied with whatever you have materially, you will become happy. It's an amazing thing. You know, when I speak this often, maybe I've told this earlier to you, when Vamanadev appeared and he walked off to the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, and there Bali Maharaj was very happy to see him. He got very attracted to Vamanadev's beautiful features. What a young, wonderful looking brahmachari with great tejas. So he said, what can I do for you? Please tell me. What can I give you? He asked. And Bali Maharaj really wanted to do something. So at that time when he asked, Vamanadev replied very diplomatically to him. He said, I'm a Brahmana. I should learn and perform the austerity of the mind of being satisfied with littlest, smallest, minimalist requirement. So just give me 3 paces of land. That's all I need. And then Bali Maharaj said, oh gosh, you really don't know what to ask. You know who I am. I'm the Lord of the 3 worlds. I can give you so much. Immediately Vamanadev said, no, that will make you very dissatisfied. It will make you unhappy if you have too much. To learn to be satisfied with whatever little you have is the greatest happiness. Then he'll give him an example that you see by wearing a shoe, pada rakshaka, by wearing a shoe or a chappal or sandals or whatever you may call, you can actually walk anywhere on stones, on rubble, on thorns, on mountains and deserts and forests, you name it. You can walk anywhere. But imagine if you do not have sandals, how difficult it will be to step over stones and thorns and forest, vines and everything. Or constantly you will be in anxiety. So he said satisfaction for a Brahmana is something like that, wearing a footwear that permanently leaves him free without any anxiety for his legs. He can walk anywhere he wants. So he said this is the greatest wealth of a Brahmana. If a Brahmana can remain satisfied with whatever he has got by the arrangement of the Lord Vishnu, then yadricha labha santushtaha. Yadricha labha. Whatever by the arrangement of the Lord is coming as a material arrangement for me, santushtaha. Let me remain happy with that. So this is a great quality for becoming happy. Don't compare yourself with others and their possessions. Yesterday I was told by a person who's flicking the phone and showing me, see Maharaj, so-and-so, the wife of Mukesh Ambani or whatever it is, spent 220 crores on her birthday. 220 crores. I mean, you can just imagine what this means. 220 crores for a birthday celebration. I mean, it's amazing. This much amount for one person's birthday celebration. But I was really stunned. I told him, after all that, she doesn't look very happy. She doesn't look very happy. And I had a real amazing realization at that moment that it doesn't require so much thing to be happy. If you choose to be satisfied, you become happy with whatever you have a little bit. It's a training of the mind. As somebody who is never satisfied, is always dissatisfied, you can never make him happy. How much ever you give, they say, no, some more, some more and some more and some more. Our economy functions on that type of a pushing, of that type of a greed. So nobody at any point in time can be satisfied in our setting of the economy. You're forced to be dissatisfied, then only there is progress in the economy, in the GDP and everything. It's designed to be like that. So we are designed an economy that will constantly keep you dissatisfied. Right? So that's the way Bali Maharaj was, Hiranyakashipu was, Ravana was. That's a asuric mentality. But an intelligent person like Vamana, a Brahmana, he will immediately switch on to remain very happy with the little bit he has. His power is knowledge. His power is knowledge. He doesn't need too much to be happy. He keeps minimal, like today they call it minimalistic requirements. What's the basics that we need? We stick to that. So it's mentioned that people who are smart, they get satisfied with the basics and they attend to the main things in life. If they're involved in self-realization and becoming Krishna conscious, they spend their time chanting Hare Krishna. Like Prabhupada said here, the best thing is to look into and hear the stories of the Mahabharata, the Puranas, the Ramayana, the Bhagavat. It gives you an amazing fulfillment from inside. Such powerful, value-based leelas of the Lord. You can learn a lot from it. And it gives you a sense of fulfillment. So it's very easily possible for you to get satisfied than indulging in some movies, in some intoxication, drugging yourself, being in the company of people who are so brash and sometimes vulgar and ostentatiously acting to show off and flaunt their wealth and everything. All these types of people, they just keep you constantly dissatisfied. But like we mentioned, Swadhya Bhyasanam Chaiva, in austerity of the speech we heard, by reading Vedic literature, by reading the Bhagavad Gita, you'll see you get a deep sense of satisfaction. It's an amazing thing. You can't say it's not on the mental platform, it's not on the intellectual platform, it's not on this thing, but you get a deep sense of satisfaction because you feel, I have spent my time nicely. I learned these things about life. It is not only intellectually satisfying, it's deeply spiritually satisfying. Especially if you read the Bhagavatam, you will find that. Because his instructions there touch you very deeply, not just on the mental platform. So automatically the mind, the intellect, the body all become peaceful and happy and satisfied. Right? This is a very important thing in life. To remain satisfied. The art of being satisfied. That is something which is a knowledgeable person knows. If you read the Bhagavad Gita and if you understand the essence, you know how to be satisfied very easily. Like Vamanadev said. So, Manaprasadat Saumyatvam Stairyam Atma Vinigraha. So let's go back to this. It says that satisfaction, simplicity. Simplicity is the opposite of duplicity. Duplicity means two things are happening. What is it? You are feeling something, experiencing something, but you want the other person to think the other way. So you mislead him to think that, no, I'm feeling this way. Or you have some plans in your mind, you don't want to actually reveal it to others because you want to cheat somebody. You want to create a picture about yourself which is not true. And everybody does that to everybody. So the world is filled with people who are wearing masks and showing something to somebody. Nobody knows who is who. The world is filled with duplicitous people. But a very simple person, simplicity, arjavam, it is mentioned as a quality of a Brahmana. He remains very simple. Simple does not mean foolish. It's simple. It never takes the burden of duplicity. Duplicity is such a burden, it kills you, it spoils your mood, it dirties your consciousness, it weighs down on you, it burdens you. And you have to, remember what duplicitous comment you made earlier. If you're telling lies, then you have to remember the lies and sustain that lie. And you have to tell more lies to sustain that lie. Duplicitous compounds itself and makes it even more and more complicated. Simplicity, you don't have to remember anything. You just remain the same person. Yeah, yes, no, that's it. I said this, yeah, I didn't mean it at that point of time. This is what I thought about it. So what's wrong with it? I have a viewpoint and I'm mentioning it. But how dare you say these things? I mean, that's my point. That's my viewpoint. I said it very sweetly, nicely to you. So I don't have to remember all the complex things. I know what I said. People who are simple very easily remember everything that they said. People who are complex cannot remember many things that they said. They keep on saying lies after lies after lies. So simplicity is a great quality of a devotee, especially arjavam, simplicity, gravity. He may be simple, but he's deep because he reads Bhagavad Gita, he reads the Bhagavat, he knows what life is about and what life should be containing for me. So people who got depth in life, they are grave. They don't fool around with the main things about life. You can see them light-minded at sometimes. You can see them joking at sometimes. But if you joke about spiritual life, if you joke about reality, if you joke about their education of the truth, then they become grave. Because this is not something to be joked about. There are certain things that we don't joke about because it is deeply important to you, right? It's deeply important to you. Sometimes you see the stand-up comedies, guys, they're joking about value systems of life held in Vedic culture. They're joking about, how Draupadi had 5 husbands. And everybody is joining them. There are religious people. They hear Ramayana, they hear Mahabharata, they worship God and everything. But when somebody is joking about something that gravely important about your religion and everything, if you join, that means you have absolutely no gravity about the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavat. You're a foolish idiot. If somebody jokes about the value systems of your life, which you hold very dear and sacred, should you not get up and say, stop it? Don't joke about these things. That's gravity. Gravity means there are some things you can joke about lightly, but there are some things you should not joke about and make it trivial. You can't make self-realization a trivial thing. You can't make a joke about Draupadi and Mahabharata and Krishna and the Pandavas. Krishna himself will not like it, and it will be an offense. Aparad, it will actually kill your spiritual life. So certain things I won't say. I am not going to talk to you about my private affairs with my wife, with my children, with my parents. That's a grave topic. I'm not going to make it public. Why? It's grave, it's important, it's vital, it's serious for me. My life is based on service to them. It's not available for discussion. That's gravity. Some foolish people make all these things shallow, discuss it openly, talk about it. They are lousy. There are no values in life. So this is an austerity of the mind to make sure that those things that you value, you keep it grave, deep, and vital. Then it says self-control. Controlling yourself means keeping yourself on Krishna consciousness. That is self-control. The self is Atma. Self-control means indulging in the deep thought of doing good to others, like it's mentioned here. Very nicely put by Prabhupada and the purport. It should be so trained that it can always be thinking of doing good for others. What's the best thing you can do for others? Is to give them the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, is to give them the knowledge of the absolute truth, Krishna. Make them take a Bhagavad Gita, take them to a course, discuss Bhagavad Gita with them, and help them in their spiritual life. That is the greatest good you can do to another person. So if a person is thinking about how to spread the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, he's already thinking about doing good to others. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is the best example of it. He went all over the world and taught it to people. Now Bhagavad Gita is published in 87 languages. He has benefited people of all backgrounds, cultures, languages, and ethnicity. So you can imagine What is the meaning of austerity of the mind? Don't always think about enjoying for yourself alone, enjoying and having gratification of your senses alone. It's not very good, actually. So these are very important topics for us to know. This is called austerity of the mind, tapasya of the mind. That you sacrifice your gratification, you become satisfied, you become simple, you become grave, you become self-controlled, and you're always performing activities that purify you, purify your existence, right? This is, you must remember, very important. So Prabhupada has given a very brilliant purport here. And today is Tamil New Year's Day. I wish you all a very happy Tamil New Year Day. And tomorrow is Vishu, Malayalam New Year Day. And I want to sincerely pray to Krishna for all of you so that you may all have blessings of Vishnu on Vishu. And you may all progress in your spiritual welfare wonderfully. After this, Krishna goes to describe a few other things, and he describes charity. Charity in the mode of goodness, charity in the mode of passion, charity in the mode of ignorance, tamasic charity. I belong to a charitable organization. As per the government's registration, we are registered as a charitable society under the Societies Registration Act of India, 1860. And the government has got certain ideas of what charity is. And because we are a secular government, they don't think giving Bhagavad Gita knowledge to others is the greatest charity at all. But we are performing that great charity. Of course, we do many other types of charity. We are maybe the world's biggest distributors of free food, prasadam. Especially to children, we have midday meal programs in the various categories of Hare Krishna, Food for Life, Annamrita, Akshay Patra, and many other things. And we distribute maybe at least 25 lakh plates of food every day to children. 25 lakh plates from various kitchens all over India, every day in all the schools we are sending. But we don't talk much about it. We just simply do it because we like to distribute prasadam to so many conditioned souls. They're all benefiting spiritually. That's how we see it. But others see it as annadanam you're giving free food. Actually, we don't see it like that much. That is a secondary thought. Our main thought is we're giving sanctified food, food offered to the Lord, which is spiritually very potent. And these young children, when they eat it, they will not only get nutrition for their body and for their mind, they'll get nutrition for the soul. They'll get blessings from Krishna. So in this way, we think we are doing greatest charity by doing both material and spiritual welfare by distributing food. We distribute Bhagavad Gitas to people. We take classes. We try to change their life and make them better citizens with good thoughts inside, doing good to people. And we tell them to step off from greed, lust, anger, and all these things and become better human beings, following the instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So I know because many people come to give us charity. So I just want to say a few words about it. People give us charity in all these three modes. There are people who come and give us money and say, please use it as you deem fit. I'm very happy with your organization. I don't mind how you use it. You know, seeing me as a sannyasi, people come and give me dakshina, people give me, anytime I meet them, I talk to them, I share spiritual knowledge with them. They always give me an offering of something. Maharaj, is there anything I can buy for you that you need in your charitable work, in your preaching work and everything? I'd like to help you and all that. And people come forward, various types of charity, personally for me, for our organization. We're building temples, we have projects and everything. They give donations and everything for that. When they give donations, sometimes people ask us, but we cater to all sorts of people. We don't classify them this way, that way and all that. Because everybody, whatever they think, we try to do their best for them because they're giving for Krishna. But charity comes in goodness, in passion and in ignorance. I'll tell you what that Krishna says here. Charity given in goodness, according to time, place, situation, and circumstance. And they know that this charity will come back to me later in later lives, done in the mode of goodness. So there is a whole formula for that. Many people, especially these North Indians and all of them, you will see they are knowing that in next life it will be good for me. So if you go to verse 20, Krishna is explaining this. Datavyam iti yaddanam diyate anupakarire deshe kale cha patre cha tadhanam satvikam smritam. What is satvika dhanam? What is charity in the mode of goodness? Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. You see, every grahastha is supposed to give charity. Every earning member is supposed to give charity in the Vedic system of thought. A brahmana, a sannyasi, they all live out of the charity given by a grahastha. The brahmana is never supposed to work. He will never take employment. He will only give knowledge free to everybody. He will give directions to everybody how to understand the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavat and everything. It is the duty of the Grahastha, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas to maintain the Sannyasi and to maintain the Brahmana. So whenever a Brahmana goes to anybody's house, he will copiously get charity. So what that Brahmana will do, he will just take the charity and use it how much he wants. And whatever is remaining, he will donate it off to everybody. He won't put it inside his almirah, lock it up and keep it for tomorrow. He also doesn't think like that. He won't hoard anything. As soon as his requirement is over, he will immediately distribute it to others who are needing it. And the next day again, he will go and beg from the Grahastha. Bhiksham Dehi, he'll go and ask. Because he is not a beggar. The act of begging is not something low class. Because a Brahmana begs, and he's the highest person in the society. If he comes in front of your house and says, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, he will stand there. The Grahastha will run inside quickly and come and give him dhanam. Why? Because you're giving me an opportunity to give charity. Because he will only take charity from 2-3 houses and then go back home. That's enough for me. I got 3 handfuls of rice. That's enough for me for morning and night. I won't beg more than that. So it's not really begging like we think nowadays. Beggar is a beggar. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have money. He's a useless guy. A derogatory thing about begging. No. A Brahmana begging is very high class because it gives you an opportunity for charity. That is charity in the mode of goodness. Out of my duty, I have to do it. Even though I am earning very less, I must use 50% of my money to give in charity. That's the way they do it. This is austerity. But I must give charity because I'm a Grahastha. That's the way they do it. This is called charity in the mode of goodness. But there are others who will give charity yat tu pratyupakarartham phalam uddishya va punah diyate cha pariklishtam tadhanam rajasam smritam. I'm reading from text 21 of chapter 17. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Sometimes people donate to us and ask, what will I get in return? Will you put my name there in the hall on the top, big? Will you put my name in will you call me on the stage and give me a special order? Will you put my name in the souvenir? Will you, give me a special card that will help me to get an accommodation every time I go to Guruvayur? What will you give me in return? This is charity in the mode of passion. But for such people also, we say, okay, fine, we'll help you with this accommodation. You'll get prasadam, you'll get this, that. You'll get a special citation, a card. We have all those facilities to cater to these people. But it's asking for recognition, expecting something in return, that is charity in the mode of passion, fruitive tendency. Then in 22 verse, it's mentioned, Adesha kale yattanam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avajnatam tattamasam udahritam. And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So many people are not very well educated about how to do the charity and where to do, when to do, and all that. Without seeing all that, they may give it to you in an impure place at an improper time to unworthy persons. You see, when you give to a drunkard charity, he comes and asks you, please, please, please give me, I'm so hungry and all that. You give him 100 rupees. He'll immediately brighten up and say, thank you very much, thank you very much. But he is not going to the hotel or somewhere and going to get food. Neither is he going to meet his wife and give her for buying vegetables or for his son and daughter. He will straight go to the liquor shop and drink it off. It is meaning of charity given at an improper time to the wrong, unworthy person. Because your charity goes waste. Your charity makes him drink. Your charity puts him in deeper tamoguna. Your charity puts his whole family, wife and children in misery. They'll be hungry. Your charity does so many things just because you're not bothered to see whom am I giving, when am I giving, what am I giving, how will he use it. This is tamoguna charity. Many people will find out where am I giving, how are they spending it, are they doing it properly, and then they will give. They are very careful about not giving tamoguna charity, right? So I'm giving you a crude example of what tamogun charity is. Without proper attention and respect. So, but we don't mind. Sometimes people come and give us charity and they don't know that they are giving, for what purpose they are giving. They say, just keep it, you're a holy man, so I don't mind it. I'm not bothered. Sir, we're going to use it this way, we're going to give another. I don't care, you just use it how you want. I'm just, just want to feel like giving charity right now. Sometimes people are like that, but it's okay because they've handed it over to Krishna devotee and he'll be using it in the service of Krishna and he will benefit. All these tamogun, rajogun, sattviga charities, when they come and they are utilized in Krishna's service, all these persons who are donors, they get immense benefit. But that type of charity is transcendental charity beyond the gunas. When you donate for Krishna, you are doing the best type of charity, beyond the gunas also. Beyond the three gunas. When you give for Krishna, it comes back to you in the form of spiritual credits. Not just in your next life, you'll have a better, facility or something. A devotee will get spiritual credit. So you must know three guna charity and charity that's transcendental to all the three gunas. In this way, Krishna speaks about three types of charity. You may please read those purports. I'll give you more intricate details also. Right? So today we spoke about the mind and austerity of the mind and three types of charity. I think there is enough for the day for you because you have to celebrate Vishu. You have to celebrate a happy Tamil New Year's Day. And this important information you can take home for your benefit. And in this way, on this auspicious days of Tamil and Malayalam New Year Day, put your mind more on deep introspective thinking on what I really need to be happy and satisfied, what this austerity of the mind is doing to me. Once you get used to it, you start getting pleasure out of that austerity. You know you're getting great gains out of it. Similarly, when you share your wealth with Krishna, with people who need it, you're not only getting fruitive results, you're getting transcendental result. Okay? Any question or comment?